Tonight is your night to make everything alright. Love is a word, the word. Love is a word, the word.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Hi, I'm Ed.
I'm Angel,
and we're the Coopers. Welcome to the Cooper Chronicles.
We're so glad you guys can join us this morning. Do you have your coffee or do you have your tea? We are getting ready to explore some great new information that's going to help you through your life.
And we have topics that are so wide-ranging,
Yes.
but the topic that we have today is such a topic that it is going to impress you, impress me. And it's going to make you just wish and think that, you know what? Wow, I can do this better.
Yeah, and we want to explain to you what the Cooper Chronicles is about. We're here to
What are we
inspire.
about?
We're here to inspire couples, families, relationships, and community.
Yeah. Don't forget self-love.
Oh, that's so important.
Yes, it is. But we have a topic today that is very special for us. And I think this topic is going to hit home and resonate with a lot of people because it is a topic that is so vital in any type of relationship, whatever it may be. As we said, like in your family, your home, your community, or your job, wherever it may be.
Yeah.
This topic is a topic for you.
It is, and so we want to provide practical points and biblical principles that will help you. Are you ready, Ed?
I'm ready.
I think we're ready. All right.
Listen, today's topic is, and I have a note here. I want you guys to really listen to me when I say this.
Okay.
Now. Okay. Common mistakes in communication. Common mistakes in communication.
Yes, there are.
We all seem to make mistakes one way, shape, form, or another.
Very true.
So we're gonna make mistakes in whatever we do. But there are some common mistakes that we have in communication.
Yeah, and then we just have a few, and I'm sure that you could probably find a few of your own that you may can relate to.
Right.
But it's effective when you're not having the communication that's very effective. It can be damaging to your relationship, your marriage, your spouse. You're raising your children. If we are missing that connector, you know what? Those are common mistakes. So we want to provide that for you.
Yes. So listen, we're gonna go to a commercial break and we will be right back to jump into our topic. Men, do you know that there's a group on Facebook where we can speak about our concerns, interests, and everything else in between? Join me live every Monday at 6 p.m. on His Chronicles on Ed and Angel's The Cooper Chronicles page on Facebook. See you there.
Are you in a season of transition or looking to forge a new path? At Divinely Inspired Guidance, we invite God into the process, and it is there you will find hope, healing, and direction. Schedule your complimentary coaching session today.
We are back. Welcome back to the Cooper Chronicles.
Welcome back, everyone.
We are going to talk about a topic that is very important in a relationship for your family, your friends, your community, as well as yourself.
Yes.
So the topic that we're going to talk about are some of the common mistakes in communication.
I mean, do you know and do you realize that your communication can determine the dynamic in any of your relationships?
Wow. So how effective is your communication?
That's a good question, and we want you guys to really ask yourself that question. How effective is my communication?
Now, when we talk about effective, is it gonna help your relationship? Is it gonna hinder your relationship? Or are you just totally missing what's going on?
Oh my goodness.
So we're gonna talk about some effective ways of having an effective communication.
So during this episode, we came up with just 3.
There's like 10,000 of them, but we only come up with just 3. 'Cause we don't have time for all of this stuff.
Exactly. So we feel like these are at the top of the list. These are the 3 most common mistakes that we have when we are communicating, or we think we're in communication with our spouse, our relationship, or our children, and so on and so forth. So here's the first one.
The first one, I had problems. I used to struggle with this one.
I think we all did, Ed.
But
Okay.
I'm getting better. I'm just going by experience here. But listen,
Okay.
the first one is, are you an active listener?
I feel like the Jeopardy music is happening right now,
Let's break that in
and they're asking themselves,
We're
"Are
not gonna
you?"
give them that music though.
No,
We're not giving
no,
Jeopardy music.
no, we won't. But when you're an active listener,
Oh, my God.
are you noticing that you're really engaged in that discussion, or are you just waiting to respond?
Listen, here's an active listener. Let me give you a little
Okay.
example. My wife's talking to me. Talk to me, baby.
Ed, I just needed to know, will you be able to take, Ed, I just needed to know, will you be able to,
Did you see that score?
oh my goodness.
Listen,
That's-
you don't want to do that.
Exactly.
Active listener means you are focusing on the individual that is talking to you, your wife, in your relationship, who you're talking to. You're focusing. You have to focus.
Yeah.
Do not let other distractions around you take you off your focus.
That's giving the full attention to the listener or the speaker
Yes.
while they're having that discussion with you. So ask yourself, are you really actively listening to what that individual is saying to you?
You know what? When you actively listen, you hear everything that is going on.
Yes.
You won't miss important and vital information because, listen, we miss it sometime. What do you say? I don't understand. What? I missed that. Can you listen? Ask them to repeat it.
That's good. And when they repeat it, it's also helpful for you to recite what is being said. So if they say, will you be able to take out the trash for me? To say, you would like for me to take out the trash? That
So
means
I gotta take out the trash.
Exactly. You're actively
in my week.
listening.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry, y'all.
That's the example of an active listener. That's
I
number
love that.
one.
That's number one.
That's number one.
What about number 2?
All right, so number 2. This is really vital also. Avoid interruptions.
Interruptions.
Avoid interruptions.
Here's a good example.
All right.
If my wife and I were talking to each other and she's talking to me and I interrupt her, so I like doing these examples because you know why? It gets you see the ambiance of it.
Yeah,
So
I like
say
that.
something.
All right, so hey,
Listen.
Did you catch that?
See?
The immediate interruption. Avoid that. First of all,
Interruptions bring heated comments,
heated debates.
and stress. Listen.
So that is a common mistake, only because we mentioned that when you are not really listening, but you're just waiting to respond, we want you guys to avoid the interruptions. Let the person completely finish out the statement so that you can hear what they're saying. Because you know what? They didn't finish everything because you interrupted. And maybe if you allow them to finish, you'll really get the main point of what they're talking
And please don't let them see the top of your head when your head is down like this, because that's not going to work either. You have to listen. Interruptions are detrimental to a relationship.
Yeah.
You want to focus on everything. You want to make sure that you're understanding what's being said. And, interruptions, just go. I think the best thing, go to an area where, it's the both of you. You can sit there, your safe place, and then you speak, and then you just talk to each other.
It's just a matter of having respect for one another.
There it is. There it
So when I talk, he listens.
I listen, and then when I talk,
I listen.
and then I talk some more.
But avoid the interruptions.
I'm sorry.
All right, so that was number 2. Let's go. Number 3.
See, this is what jumps back
my
into my last
goodness.
statement. When I talk some
Yes.
more, what am I doing? I'm misinterpreting the message. In
Yeah.
other words, I'm not getting the full message of what's going on.
Yeah.
She may have said something, but the first 2, when you're interrupting and you're not really paying attention, you're gonna misinterpret what is being said. Go ahead.
No. You know what it's easy to misunderstand
See how
someone.
she interrupted me?
I know, but it's so true. We can misinterpret that whole entire message when you avoid or when you interrupt and when you're not actively listening. So in order to avoid the misunderstanding of the statement that's being said, just stop, ease back. Breathe, inhale, exhale, close your eyes and think, and kind of settle in
Right.
what's happening and don't be so on the edge.
I hate when I misinterpret a message
Same here, me too.
because I just know I'm in trouble.
But
Go ahead.
those are some of the top three.
Those are the top three.
I think those were good for
I think
us.
they're up there. They're pretty.
Yeah.
They're pretty good up there.
Yeah, yeah.
So you got to realize misinterpreting messages and not having communication skills, especially dealing with messages.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
will say this: when I used to misinterpret messages, I felt as though there was a void in the conversation. There was a void to where I'm not understanding what was being said, and I didn't get the full effects of what I need to do.
Yeah.
So it's key. It's vital and it's key to try not to misinterpret the messages.
And actively listen, because when you are maybe in a stressful moment at
Right.
a stressful place, that's the common mistake. Sometimes we're not ready to hear the conversation because we're in a different element either in our mind. So kind of center yourself and ask God to give you the strength. Do you know that the Bible simply states that that's what He requires us to do, to be an active listener? The Bible says it in James, to be swift to hear,
Lord.
slow to speak, and slow to wrath. So
If you misinterpret a message, the wrath is coming.
and it could come in so many different ways, and so be careful
Yes.
at how you approach the situation, because it can lead to misunderstood emotions and feelings.
Well,
and
listen,
hurt
don't you
feelings.
know that communication can affect the intimacy in your relationship?
Y'all, I hope you understand that when you are not communicating effectively, then when you're in an intimate moment, it's difficult to really get there because you haven't yet had a discussion about what may have transpired earlier during the day.
Yes, yeah. You don't squeeze the toothpaste the wrong way.
Yeah, you squeeze it from the bottom,
And I squeeze it from the top.
and now we are just a wreck.
Oh! and then everything else suffers. So listen,
Have the discussion.
because it can affect your intimacy.
Yes.
Don't think that it can. It can't, but it can. What's
It's
another
important
thing?
to be consistent with that.
Oh.
Being
you have
consistent
to
in
be.
those areas. Don't just say, well, I did that good yesterday.
I'm good.
And no, stay on that. Remember those three top things: to be an active listener, avoid the interruptions, and don't misinterpret the message. It doesn't mean that they don't love you. It doesn't mean that they don't care. They just may see it a little differently, right? So you need to have that time where you can sit down and talk about, this is how I feel, and understanding that sometimes we can make that mistake in the common, simple mistakes and not hearing what our partner is saying.
Listen, at this time we're going to take a commercial break, but when we come back, we're going to get into 3 practical points that's going to help you out.
Oh, it's going to be exciting. All right, you guys.
Stay tuned.
Hi, ladies. Do you know that there's a Facebook group page just for us where we can talk about our interests, our concerns, and everything in between? Join me Tuesday, 6 p.m. Facebook Live on the Ed and Angel Cooper Chronicles page. I'll see you there.
Welcome back to the Cooper Chronicles.
Welcome back, everybody.
Yes, we were talking about common mistakes in communication.
And it's just really that easy. It can be so common, you miss it. We may miss it. And so today, we're going to provide some tips for you guys on how not to miss it.
But listen, before we even get into that, let's recap a couple of things that we said.
Okay.
Well, really, it was more than a couple.
It was actually Well, yeah, the 3 points, but
Yeah,
there was
3
a lot of meat in between there.
A lot of meat and potatoes. This is morning time. Hope you guys ate because we're feeding you right now.
Yes, this is gonna be good. All right, so the first common mistake that we talked about was
Being an active listener.
ask yourself that.
Are you an
Are
active
you an
listener?
active listener?
Are you listening to what's going on?
Are you
Are you
really-
listening to what's being said?
Are you listening?
I'm listening.
Okay, good. All right.
Okay, I'm listening.
And
What?
number, you want to do number 2?
Well, no, but
Okay.
I'll do it number 2 anyway.
All
It
right.
says avoid
interruptions.
There's always something. You ever notice that if you say, let's get spiritual now. Say, for instance, you want to have prayer and you want to go down for prayer. There's always seems to be something that's interrupting you
Yeah, right.
when you're about to really get into something.
Yeah.
So, there's always interruptions in a relationship.
Yeah.
Some of those outside influences are trying to attack your relationship.
Wow.
So, those are some of the things you really want to look out for
Yes.
in a relationship.
Yeah, that's really powerful, Ed. I like that.
Well, thank you very much. I really had to dig for that one.
You
but,
got
I
it. You
found
got that.
Thank
All right,
you.
so I like this last one. Is don't misinterpret the message.
Oh my goodness.
Maybe you're in your feelings, right? And maybe what that person is saying is very true, but you really didn't want to hear it. Sometimes you misinterpret what is being said as an attack to you, but really it's just trying to help you and your partner, your child,
Yes.
or just maybe the message really needs to come over. But don't put up the barrier. Don't misinterpret the message. That's really
That's like if you get a text message with all capital letters. I just thought it was nice because I write in all caps. Well,
true.
They say you're yelling. Why are you yelling at me? I didn't know.
And then you misinterpret
I
that. That's
misinterpret
really
the
good.
message.
That's really good. No, that's really good.
I've learned.
I know, but I think we all have, and that's why we feel it's so imperative that we share these tips
Yes,
with you because
yes.
it can help you in your marriage, raising children, in the community,
And for yourself.
it always reminds me of that because that's so important. It is.
That's true. So listen, we want to give you guys 3 practical points. 3 practical points that's going to help you with all the stuff that we said earlier in the show.
Yeah.
These are some 3 practical points that we have that may be able to assist you in this relationship and try to minimize the common mistakes that we normally do.
Right. And to avoid those barriers, these are the top 3 that we feel
Right.
are very effective.
Okay, number 1 would be to make communication a priority. We prioritize a lot of things in relationships. In our lives, we prioritize when we're going to go to the gym. We prioritize what time we're going to get our coffee in the morning. There are so many priorities, but within your relationship, we have to learn to make our communication a priority. It should not take a back seat to anything else.
That's powerful. So with that being said, don't neglect in having
Yes.
that communication time. I mean real communication time. Not just how you doing and how was your day. Really dig in deep to find
Yes.
out. You may not understand why someone is being brief with you, and I'll say why, like your spouse. Maybe they're dealing with something on their job, but it's because you haven't even really engaged in
That's a
the
good word.
conversation, right? Don't neglect in having that real good conversation and really communicating. I like that. Make it a priority.
Priority, listen, when you make things a priority, it's number 1 on your list.
Yeah.
You know that, this is something that needs to be done. This is something that I have to do, and I want to make sure that I accomplish what I set out to do. So you set goals for yourself.
That's good.
So set a goal in your communication.
Yeah.
And make it a priority.
Right. And
I
then
love
ask
that.
yourself, why are you stopping yourself for communicating
Why?
and getting in that conversation that's really needed for your partner? Find out, ask yourself these things, and then sit down and talk about it. We did this thing maybe a few months ago, talked about, have you given yourself 10 minutes?
10 minutes.
Just sit down and really talk about those issues that might be pressing to you, but make it
A priority. Listen, number 2. See, number 2, I love it because you have to be focused and consistent with your communication.
That's good.
Focus meaning you focus on what is bothering you or whatever the issue may be, but you have to be consistent. It's just as I'm old school, you courting I'm courting my wife, in other words, let me bring it up to the 2020.
Yeah.
I'm trying to hook up with my boo. And so I'm doing all these extra things, like speaking these nice words to her.
Yes.
I wanna, so listen, my vocabulary is good, But you know what? You gotta be consistent in what you're saying. You can't just say it one time and then don't do it and then forget about it. No, it's not something that you forget. Be consistent and focus on what it is that really matters to you.
I mean, the other thing for me when it comes to focus and having communication, give that individual an eye contact. Really let them know that you're zeroing in on what they're saying. That you are really, like, you want to hear what is on their mind, what they're feeling, and just kind of really connect with them. And like Ed said, being consistent, you know what, we try to multitask, but you really can't focus on your relationship if you're doing so many other things. You're missing the important thing that your loved one is really in need of. So begin to focus. That's a common mistake. We think that, you know, we can do everything, but focus and zero in on what it is that they're looking for. And I tell you, it really improves the relationship.
Yes, it does. I've learned how to focus.
I think we all have. After being married for almost 27 years,
Lord, Jesus.
we've learned a thing or two. So these tips can be very helpful if you learn how to zero in.
I like the fact that she said you gotta have eye contact.
Oh, that makes
So,
a
you know,
difference.
see, because she look into my eyes, I'm just talking about me right now. Zoom in on me for a
Oh
minute.
my goodness.
She look into my eyes, she's just gonna be like, you know what? I see the passion that you have.
Right.
So this is some of the communication thing. Now listen, you can't get an evil eye if your communication is off. So listen, those are the kind of eyes we want to avoid.
Yeah.
So
body,
listen, I'm
body
focused.
movements and gestures
Oh,
and the
wow.
rolling of the eyes. All of that is
I
a
never knew how to
part.
roll my eyes. How do you do that?
Oh, I can show you. But when
okay.
you're focusing, you'll see that. You'll see those things. And when you zero in, it's really important to understand, wait a minute, she just rolled her eyes. Baby, what is wrong? You know, or ask the question. When you're really focusing on that, you'll really recognize, you won't miss the things that you normally had missed before. When you are really focusing in, you'll recognize, wait a minute, he's a little off or she's a little off. I need to find out what I can do to reconnect. And that's the common mistakes in communication, where we think we are where we should be and we're not. Don't miss it, you guys. We're gonna help you today. We're gonna help you today.
You know what? Thank you for the help, man. I love that word, reconnect.
Yes, it's amazing. Okay.
Reconnect, and yo, listen, reconnect has benefits. All right, listen, we'll get into that later.
I know, Ed. All right, so
And
let's do
number three.
number 3. This one's
This
really
is
good.
important.
I think they all are important, but this one has a certain dynamic that just puts it over the top.
Listen, you have to create boundaries.
Yeah.
Listen, if you ever get into a situation where you're arguing or anything like that, you gotta create boundaries.
Yes.
Good example, if you're having a heated discussion, what you need to do is this.
Yeah.
You need to, if you're gonna walk away, listen, I wanna walk away, but listen, I'm gonna let you know where I'm going.
Exactly.
Create boundaries, safe place. Have a place in your house where you wanna get together and talk.
Yeah.
And talk, you know, so you know that this is our safe place. This is where we can have our communications.
Yeah. It's like a protective mechanism that you set in place, like Ed said, when you're in that discussion where you may have a disagreement. And it's okay because, you know, we're both two different individuals, but create these boundaries where you both can come in and have the discussion and don't hit below the belt because you know the weakness or maybe the sensitivity of your loved one. You know what? Be very careful not to do that, because once those words come out of your mouth,
it's hard to take them back.
I mean, you can apologize, but you know what? Be very careful and create the boundaries prior to, you know, having that real deep discussion.
I like the fact that boundaries are, you know, they're protective mechanisms in your relationship. Boundaries are there to help you. Boundaries are there to assist you. Boundaries are also there to keep you in check.
It's very
you have to
true.
realize these things and remember those boundaries are there for you. And you know what? Not everyone's boundary is going to be the same. You set the boundary up. The boundaries up is how it's going to fit you. If you know you like things a certain way, this is my boundary. You can't say these words to me. You can't say that word to me. All right, well, here's my boundary. You can't look at me that way. You can't do this. So you got to set up boundaries. And listen, once you keep doing it, then it's going to become routine and you're going to understand, you know what? I know what my boundaries are. I know this is our place.
Exactly. And so understanding that you're showing interest and how they feel, that you're
Right.
being compassionate and understanding, even though you're in a disagreement. It's so healthy. That's why we recognize that love is worth every work that you put
Yes.
involved. Your practical points, you're avoiding those things, understanding one another. Listen, the benefits outweigh more than what you can imagine when you actively do these things. So let's go over the tips again.
Oh, well.
Here we go.
Number one, what, you want to do one?
I do. Make communication a priority.
It has to be prioritized. Don't
Yes.
forget your priorities, okay?
Yes. Number
Go
two,
ahead, give it to me, baby.
be focused and consistent.
Good God Almighty. Focus and consistent.
All right.
I love that.
Sorry.
And number three,
Create boundaries.
Thank you guys for joining us right here on Ed and Angel, the Cooper Chronicles.
Yes, we are looking forward to meeting you back here next Saturday at 7:30 a.m.
Ooh, that's in the morning. Get your coffee ready, get your muffins ready, and get your bagels.
Exactly. And if you have missed any episode
Yes.
of the Ed and Angel Cooper Chronicles, please follow us on the Ed and Angel Cooper Chronicles Facebook page,
Yeah.
Twitter, all of our social media handles, and you can follow us on YouTube.
That's if you miss any episodes, go
Yeah.
back and see what we're really talking about.
Yes.
Whatever we say on there is very good, and it's good for you.
Yes.
But if I would leave you with a final thought on what we discussed today about the, communication is to make it vital in your relationship.
Yeah.
Make it so that you know what, number one, it's effective. Number two, you both have the understanding of what you're in it for.
Yeah.
Communication is vital. You don't want to let it lapse. You don't want to let it, fall by the wayside. How else will you know what's in your partner's mind and in their heart unless you speak and then you tell it, you speak and have communication. You got to have communication. That's the best way of getting over. That's the best way of moving ahead. And that's the best way of strengthening your relationship and especially the foundation. Because if you have a foundation, a strong foundation, your relationship can stand. So listen, that would be our closing point for today. But thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you
on
for tuning
NAB
in.
Cooper Chronicles. I love it.
That was beautiful, Ed.
Well, thank you very much. I had to pull that out of my beautiful bag word. But listen, join us, as we said, 7:30 on Saturday in the morning.
We'll see you there. And remember,
Love is worth the work. Peace out. Bye.
So worth